Okay, hello children. This chapter is the model millionaire. We are going to do the various aspects that the chapter has, the characters, the story, the plot overview, summary, whatever. Summary and story plot overview is almost one and the same thing. About the characters, we are going to discuss about the main characters here. We are also going to discuss about the summary. We are also going to discuss about a few questions and answers maybe. And what is the story all about? Okay, now this chapter is in your MCB textbook, and the videos that will come to you will be in parts. Once we are done with the online session to a particular context or the content, and we have covered that particular content, you are going to receive the video. Now it will be in parts. This is the first part of the video, or first part of the chapter, that is the. Now, if you see this picture, can you tell me what this picture is all about? This is a picture by, this is a painting by Leonardo da Vinci. Okay. Now see, the painting, the name of the painting is The Last Supper. Here, if you see, Christ is sitting mm, in the middle of the crowd, and on his right and on his left, he has all his disciples. Now he has Judas also. Okay, now do you know who Judas is? Judas is actually the one disciple who betrayed Christ. Okay, now when Leonardo da Vinci was making this portrait, he interviewed many people, because he wanted to select the perfect man for his painting, the perfect model for his painting. So first he chose a man whose face had a lot of innocence and beauty. When it was he that man was perfect for the model for Christ. Okay, that man was perfect to model for Christ, so he chose that man. And after 6 years, again he interviewed many men, to model for Judas. And he finally selected a man who was very unpleasant and he was very cruel looking. He was a prisoner. Okay, and once the painting was over, he got to know that the man whom he selected to pose for Christ was the same man who was selected to pose for um, Judas. So, what do we learn? That looks can be deceptive. We can't judge a book by its cover, right? We can't say that if the man is fully, is very beautiful outside, also has a beautiful heart. There are people who look very beautiful, who have very beautiful appearance, but then they're very, very dark from inside, right? They don't think or they don't intend to do good to others. But there are certain people who might not look very good, or there are certain people who are not don't dress up in a very rich way, but actually are very rich, or are actually very good. Or there are certain people who look maybe very uncanny and very unpleasant, but actually they are very good people. They do a lot of charity. So that's what the main and the basic idea of this story, that the looks can be deceptive and we should not go only at the outside of the shell, or outside of the man, or outside of a book. Okay, so we cannot judge a book by its cover. Now next, as I told you, this has been written by Oscar Wilde. This is a picture of Oscar Wilde. Let's see about his life. We can read about his life and his achievements. Now Oscar Finger O. Flaherty Wills Wilde. Okay, it's a proper noun. You can pronounce it anyway. He was born on 16 October 1854 and he died on 30th November 1900. He was an Irish poet and he was a playwright. After writing in different, he was a playwright, okay, so he used to write play, he was an Irish poet, he used to write poems as well. Now, after writing in different forms throughout the 80s and the early 1890s, um, you know, people saw him, or everyone observed that he has become very popular. In fact, he was the most popular playwright in London at that time. He's best remembered for his epigrams and plays. Now, the novels that are worth reading or became very popular written by him are Picture of Dorian Gray and Importance of Being Earnest. Okay, Importance of Being Earnest is also taught in many ICC schools as their 11th and 12th curriculum. I read it in my BA course when I was doing English honors and honors in English in my bachelor's degree. That time also Importance of Being Earnest was taught to me, so it became very famous. And also Picture of Dorian Gray, it's worth reading. Okay, and he died very young. He was only 46. Okay, and now epigrams, like you said, it's a short poem actually, especially it's a satirical one, a witty one, okay, which has a very ingenuous ending. Okay, so that's what an epigram is. It usually aims at the societal issues that the society has. Okay, now you are supposed to read in our online sessions. We had first online session we had read till page 25, and then we continued from 26 to 28. And I want you all, before we move forward, you all to read the entire chapter, and then we can move forward. Now I assume that you all have read the chapter. We are going to discuss the plot overview, the plot of the story. Okay, you might be knowing that there are 5 elements of the story, and plot is actually the summary of the story. Now let's read it out. The Model Millionaire centers around a poor chap who, although poverty stricken, is a charming young man with a gorgeous face and handsome physique. Okay, so we are talking about the protagonist of the story, the hero or the main character of the story. He's a poor chap. He's young, but he's poor. And although he's poor, but he's very charming and he's very gorgeous and he's very handsome. He's lean and he has perfect physique and his face has perfect glow, perfect features, everything. His name is Hughie. Okay, Hughie is in love with a beautiful woman, Laura, the daughter of the colonel. So there is a colonel whose daughter Laura and Hughie were in love. Okay, now the father was very fond of his potential son-in-law, but would not hear about an engagement. So here, colonel, although he was very fond of Hughie, because we already have seen that he's very charming, okay, and he's gorgeous and he's very handsome. So he's very fond of Hughie, but he doesn't want them to get engaged. Why? We have discussed it, right? Can you think of it? Because he is poor. Yes, and no father would want his daughter to get married to a poor man. Okay, so he had put forth a condition before Hughie. He would have to earn 10,000 pounds. So what he says, he had put forth a condition saying that the day he earns 10,000 pounds, which is a lot, and especially in those times it was too much. So he says once he earns that much of money, he is going to give away the daughter to him and he is going to agree to their marriage. So what happens next is Hughie had a good friend whose name was Trevor. Now he was an artist, he was a painter, okay. And while on his way to find a way to earn money, Hughie decided to visit his friend. Now he was very tense because Colonel has now put forth this condition of earning 10,000 pounds, and he was very tense. So he was planning to do something, and before he could do anything, he thought, let's meet my friend and I can talk to him. So that friend is Trevor. Now when he entered the studio of the artist, what he saw is that uh, Trevor was deep into drawing a life like a sketch of a beggar who was also present there. So he was painting the portrait of a sketch, or the portrait of a beggar, the sketch of a beggar, and the beggar was present there only. Hughie was awestruck at the scene. He was flabbergasted. He was, just totally awestruck, and uh, he was overawed actually. He casually asked how much could a person make by being a model. So he saw the model there who was a beggar, and Trevor was painting his or sketching his portrait. Okay, so he just out of curiosity he asked that how much a person can, you know, can be paid for being a model, for posing for a painting or a sketch. Now Trevor said that it was around a shilling every hour. When the artist was gone for some time, he could not resist the urge to talk to the beggar who looked alone and sad, and he pulled out whatever little money he had and gave it to him. As a result, Hughie had to walk back home. Now, when Trevor had gone out, he told him that some shilling every hour the model was given. Now, when Trevor went outside for some work and for some time, Hughie could not resist himself and he started talking to the beggar. And when he looked at the beggar, he felt very sad for the beggar because he was wearing all this rags and torn clothes and he was looking very alone and sad. He had that sad face, he had that sad look on his face. And because Hughie had a big heart and he was actually a good man, what did he was not only good from outside, he was good from inside as well. So what did he do? Although he had to earn 10,000 pounds, he did not care about that, and he was already poor. He did not know whether in the evening he's going to get his meal or not. But whatever money, little money he had, he gave it to the beggar so that he could help the beggar. Let's see what happens next. So next, then in the evening, when Trevor met Hughie, in the evening, Hughie left that place, and in the evening, Trevor and Hughie they meet with each other. Trevor informed him that the man who was posing as the beggar was actually Baron Horsburgh, and he had commissioned the artist to paint him as the beggar. So Baron Horsburgh was a millionaire. He was very rich, but he was just posing as a beggar. Now see here how people they misjudge, right? How people they always go on the looks. Because Hughie saw him in rags and in torn clothes, he assumed that the beggar was alone. He had a sad look on his face. He did not know the fact that Baron Horsburgh was actually one of the richest men of that particular area. And he also gave him money. Just imagine offering some shillings or some money, some little money to a millionaire. So when Trevor told that, Hughie was totally shattered. He was so embarrassed. He thought that now actually, and started regretting his decision of giving that money to Baron Horsburgh, because he thought that it is going to be an insult for him. How insulting he must feel that someone is actually thinking him to be a beggar and offering him money when he is a millionaire himself. And later he received a letter from Horsburgh whereby he had been given 10,000 pounds as a wedding gift. Laura and Hughie got married and Baron Horsburgh gave a speech. So Trevor then discloses that Trevor told everything to Baron Horsburgh because Baron Horsburgh was also very curious and he wanted to know who Hughie was. And Trevor told him about everything, about the condition that was laid forward by the colonel. And Baron Horsburgh, he was moved by the decision of Hughie. He was moved by the act of Hughie. He really liked the way Hughie, gave him, instead of taking it as an insult, he really understood the big heart Hughie had. And he understood that although he was poor, he did not care about himself and he cared about the beggar, which was Baron Horsburgh. He was not a beggar, but he thought him to be a beggar. So he was moved, and what he did, he gifted that 10,000 pounds to Hughie so that he could marry Laura, and Laura and Hughie they get married at the end, and Baron Horsburgh gives a speech to them. So this is the part 1 of the story. Next, in the next part, we are going to discuss about the characters and the themes of the story.